Welcome back to the straight path. Today we are taking our blueprint from the last episode and putting it right into the middle of the fight. We've talked about keeping our focus on Christ, but what happens when the fight comes directly to your front door? What do you do when the storm isn't just winding waves, but a targeted attack? Most people in this modern plastic world like to pretend the devil isn't real. They want a comfortable religion where God is just a genie in the sky who keeps things good, smooth, and easy. But let's have some blunt, fire-filled real talk today. This life is going to have trouble. The Bible doesn't suggest it, it guarantees it. The devil is real, he is active, and the moment you decide to step onto the straight path, you put a giant target on your back. So what do you do when the devil starts in on you? What do you do when the pressure rises, the temptation hits, or the chaos erupts in your family or your job? Most of us do exactly what we shouldn't. We argue, we complain. We try to fight the enemy in our own strength, using our own words, our own anger, or our own wits. But look at the instruction manual. Look at the book of Jude. The Bible tells us that Michael, the archangel, a warrior of heaven, a being of immense power, found himself in a dispute with the devil himself over the body of Moses. Michael didn't throw a temper tantrum. He didn't scream, he didn't argue, and he didn't bring a railing accusation against the enemy. He didn't try to flex his own muscles. He simply stood his ground and said, "The Lord rebuke thee." Think about the weight of that. Michael knew where the power was. He didn't engage the enemy on the enemy's terms. He pointed straight to the sovereign authority of God. But if we look all the way back to the beginning, we see exactly what happens when we do the opposite. Look at Eve in the Garden of Eden. When the serpent came to tempt her with the fruit, she didn't shut it down. She didn't say, "The Lord rebuke thee." Instead, she carried on a conversation with the devil. She stood there, listened to his lies, and actually started negotiating with him. She changed what God had originally said, watered it down, and then handed that fruit straight to her husband. Look at the thousands of years of misery, sin, and death that followed because one person gave the devil a little bit of room instead of saying no in the first place. We do the exact same thing today. We let the devil pull us into a conversation. He drops a dirty thought, an anxious fear, or an old temptation into your mind, and instead of shutting the door, you sit down and talk with it. You entertain it. You give the enemy a foothold in your life, and then you wonder why you're sinking into the mud. You can't negotiate with a roaring lion. You don't try to reason with a thief who came to destroy you. The Bible gives us a clear command with a beautiful promise. Draw nigh to God, and He will draw nigh to you. But notice the order of that verse. We have to make the first step. We have to move first. You cannot be spiritually lazy, sit on your hands doing absolutely nothing and expect God to just drop victory into your lap. You have to be willing to get up, shake off the dust, and pursue the Master. When you take a step toward the light moves toward you. If you want to survive when the devil starts throwing his fiery darts, you can't be walking around naked. You have to stand with the whole armor of God or you will fall. You need the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, and the shield of faith to quench those darts. Stop talking to the enemy. Stop letting him crowd your focus and dictate your peace. When the trouble comes, you put on the armor. You take that first step toward Christ, and you let the Master handle the fight. Stand for the Lord, shut the door on the enemy, and keep your feet moving on the straight path.